I've tried to make this video several times. It's got to be like the fourth time. Um, I just wanted to come on here. Yes, I have an afro. Afro puffing it. Yes. But I wanted to come on here anyway because I thought that this was special enough and serious enough to share with you all. You know, the holidays are coming up. They're getting closer. And I know that there's a lot of grieving people out there, whether it was just yesterday, today, 4 or 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It really doesn't matter. Pain is pain. And if you love a person, of course you're going to miss them. So it's getting time now for the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's times that we know that we share with family, where family comes together to eat and just laugh and have fun. And it's going to be really hard for a lot of people to look over and that seat is empty. I used to try to understand, but now I really do understand because my dad is no longer here. Although it's been 3-4 years, it still hurts. And nobody can tell you when your grieving period is over. Nobody can tell you that you should have gotten over it by now, because it's an individual thing. Only God knows. So the reason why I come on here is to say, let's just brace ourselves. And when I say that, I mean, let's go to God now. Let's start praying now, because it's getting closer. And the closer it gets, the more anxious you get. And a lot of people don't know what to do with their pain, and their emotions are everywhere when it comes to grieving. And sometimes you lash out at people that don't mean any harm or really don't know or understand the pain that you're going through, that you're feeling. And they get upset with you because they figure that you should be over it by now. Or they get tired of seeing you crying or in a moping state, as they call it. I used to have a heart, I still do, for people that was grieving. And I didn't have, like I said before, I didn't have a parent that was not here anymore. Now I do, and at that time I really didn't understand. I try to understand people and comfort them, and sometimes you don't know what to say. But now that my dad has passed, I know how hard it could be. Whether it's a mom, a dad, aunt, or uncle, it's just painful. A lot of people have family members and loved ones that love, and then you have someone that's really close to them or really was close to them, and it's hard. It's hard when the holidays come around. And like I said, you don't know what to do with that pain. And then there's people that come up to you as if they think you've gotten over it. Like, for instance, with me, it's been 3 or 4 years and since my dad is gone, and people come up to you and talking to you just like they're still here. Like, maybe you need to analyze the situation first and see is it a good time to be talking about the person that you no longer have in your life. And I know they don't mean any harm. They don't mean any harm, but I think a lot of times, I don't know if people think that would cheer you up because you're talking about it, but sometimes your days are hard and you finally get to a place where you can cope and try to get through the day, and then here comes someone talking about it. It makes it really hard. Like you got to start over. And also, like with my dad, I used to get off at 1 o'clock, and every single day, I would call him at 1 o'clock on the dot and ask him if he needed anything before I got home. And it was hard when 1 o'clock came. I cried and I grieved because I miss hearing him speak. I miss hearing his voice, his laughter, joking around with me, talking about Jesus, encouraging me, singing a song. I just called to say I love you. He used to sing that to me. It was a very hard time in my life. And I prayed about it. I said, God, please help me. Every day at 1 o'clock was really hard. Evening time was hard. Sundays were hard. Holidays were hard. And they still are. But I know that if we pray for each other, if you pray with me and I pray with you, God will get us home. I can remember the good times. But there's one thing I want you to know. Because we're praying about it, embracing ourselves for those days and times, it doesn't mean that you're not going to think about that person. It doesn't mean that you're not going to cry or shed a tear or feel some kind of way. It's just not going to be as bad. If we go to God now, I think that He can condition our hearts, that we can cope and get through, and that we can really enjoy the holidays again. Now, I'm not saying that about everyone because, like I said, it may be that someone have lost someone just yesterday, today, last year, and it really doesn't matter because pain is pain, but I'm not telling you to just forget it. I'm just saying the only way that we're going to be able to cope and get through the holidays is that we go to God in prayer. I hope that this helps somebody. I don't want to prolong the time. I want you to get a good night's sleep, and I do too. So I hope this inspired you and it helped somebody to just get started praying, so you can smile again, so you'll be able to think about the good times and the funny times and be able to laugh again. I pray that you have a good night, and remember, you pray for me, I'll pray for you. You pray with me, and I'll pray with you. And we'll all get through these tough holidays. All right, you have a good night. All right, bye-bye.